This conference will now be recorded.
Hold it down a little lower. Maybe use a bigger part of your finger.
These ones don't pick up at all. Like our old ones, you know.
Are we recording? All right, it's 5:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Roll call. Commissioner Spillman,
Here.
Commissioner Stover, sorry.
Here.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Here.
Vice Mayor Beeson,
Present.
Mayor Warren.
Okay. Do we have someone that's ready for the prayer?
Josh is not here.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, Larry.
Probably, you
Okay.
could probably ask somebody. They probably do it.
Okay, Larry, would you be? Thank you. Please stand and join us.
Let's pray. Our Father, we thank you for this evening. We come together to do your business in this season of Thanksgiving. Pray that you would just use us to take that momentum into this new season of giving. I pray that you would just make our citizens one. I pray that you would give them blessings. Right now, we're in this meeting. We just pray that you would be with our commissioners and the decisions they have to make, give them wisdom. And as always, we pray for our city workers and our department heads and our city manager and all the workers. The work that they do are so important. We pray that you would bless each part of this evening as we work together. In Christ's name. Amen.
Where'd the flag go?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Larry, thank you for that invocation. Okay, additions or deletions?
Vice Mayor, we would like to add 2 items to the agenda. They're both executive sessions. The first one would be matters involving a non-elected city employee. And the second one would be acquisition of real estate.
I move we approve the additions to the agenda. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Okay. Been motioned and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, consent agenda.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as written.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Public hearing. Hold a public hearing regarding the proposed 2024 amended budget.
So Jennifer Wagner, Finance Director, Treasurer, is here to speak about that topic.
So we are proposing to amend the water fund this year, and we just need to hold the public hearing. So you'll open that, allow anyone who wishes to speak, and then you can close that and consider the ordinance.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I move that we open a public hearing for the purpose of the 2024 amended budget.
Second.
Sounds like everybody's in favor. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay. Old business, city attorney, Larry.
So the
I'm
floor, sorry.
Oh, we're in the open. I'm sorry.
So the floor is now open to the public if anyone would like to talk about the budget amendments. Anyone from the audience?
Jennifer, would you explain why we're amending it, please?
So we had an increased cost from what we were expecting on well 16 rehab. We also started the engineering for the east pressure zone improvements, which will later be wrapped into an SRF loan, but we have to accommodate the encumbrance this year. And then we also replaced the RO membranes at the water treatment plant this year, which was not a budgeted item.
Thank you.
What's the amount that we're wanting to add?
I'm going to increase it by $1 million, which is more than enough to get through the year.
Okay.
But we get one chance to do this, so
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've had several surprises this year, so we want to make sure we have room in case something else were to pop up at the last.
Just
weeks of the
just
year.
because it's approved, we don't have to spend it.
That's exactly right.
Move that we close the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is closed. And then
So item number 8 for the public hearing is an ordinance amending specified funds in the budget for the city of Arkansas City for the year beginning January 1st, 2024. And this is a roll call vote.
So we got to make that motion. I'll make a
Yes.
motion that we approve an ordinance amending specified funds in the budget for the city of Ark City for the year beginning January 1st, 2024.
Second.
This is a roll call vote. So Commissioner Spillman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Beeson.
yes.
So motion passes. So old business, item number 1 under City Attorney Department is a second reading of an ordinance authorizing the operation of special purpose vehicles, including golf carts, worksite utility vehicles, micro utility trucks, and all-terrain vehicles on the streets within the corporate city limits of Arkansas City, Kansas, providing for related matters, including registration and penalties for violation thereof, thus repealing ordinance number 4576.
And it looks like, Ken, they took care of your 30-mile-an-hour max to 25.
I have a question, if I may. Ken Harriger, Arkansas City. Unfortunately, y'all know me. I apologize. Larry, I have a question here. I would like some clarification. This means my,
No, that's what he was talking about, Ken.
Yes.
We changed. Because that would have.
okay, I didn't get that.
That would have eliminated.
She just give me that, I'm sorry. Okay,
Got it?
I got it now. That's what I need.
And that was all they changed was 30 to 25.
Yeah, that way you're not nailing everybody down.
Right. Right.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Uh-huh. Any other questions?
Hearing none, this is a roll call vote. Commissioner Spillman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Beeson.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business, City Manager Department, item number 1 is an ordinance adopting the budgeted pay plan to become effective December 14th, 2024.
Good evening, Commission Vice Mayor Beeson. It is that time of year to discuss a bit of what we would consider possibly a cost of living adjustment, but in a different fashion, in that it is a 50-cent pay increase to all employees, not based on a percentage, but a flat amount of 50 cents. In that, we would like to increase the minimum wages on the pay ordinance by that 50 cents. which I am very much in favor of because of recruitment. I think anything can help on those entry-level wages. In addition to that, we would like to add, of course, the maximum on the pay ordinance would increase by the 50 cents. We would like to also add another 5% on that top end, which is not going to affect very many individuals, but those that are at maximum or near maximum at this time, which is usually going to be your people who have long tenure. It just allows them to be eligible for the maximum merit, performance merit increase, because evaluations are given annually. Employees are eligible for up to 5% based upon their performance, thus a merit increase. And if someone is currently at max, if we don't give the additional 5% on the top end, then they would not receive anything. So the 50 cents and then the 50 cents plus 5 on the 5% on the top end.
Randy, do you have that sheet that you used to give us a pretty good update on what $100 would buy back in January and now?
I haven't updated it this month yet, so it usually comes out on the 15th.
What was it last time? Do you know close? I mean, I just need a guess.
Well, I can find out here.
Okay.
So annually this year was 3%. Last year was 3.2. I think over the last several years, it was since I started tracking it in 21, it was over 20-some%, by 25%.
Okay. So I don't think that it is out of the realm to ask for this increase to keep the employees. I mean, it's not even what we're doing for what the interest has gone up.
And it really, the 50 cents was the kind of the COLA that was provided through the budget. But the 5% she's talking about on the top end it's merit.
Right.
It's performance based on their evaluations.
I was just wanting to give validation why we're, I'm behind this is because,
and
cost of living's gone up and we have not been doing it with our
pay. We have
pay.
certainly not been able to keep up with the cost of living.
I think it's only fair. Probably not fair.
Probably not. Yeah.
As we can do.
That being said, I move that we approve the budget pay plan to become effective December 14th, 2024.
Second.
Now, we've already discussed this in our budget proposal, right? So we've got it covered.
Correct. It's in the budget. Yes.
Okay. And this is a roll call vote. Okay.
Commissioner Spillman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Beeson.
Yes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
So before we move on, the last item, I called for a roll call vote on accident with the silence, and we should have had a motion on the floor.
That's what I wondered if we had a motion on that.
We need to go
You're talking
back.
about the second reading?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for a second reading, the ordinance authorizing the operation of special purpose vehicles, including golf carts, worksite vehicles, micro utility trucks, and all-terrain vehicles on the street within the corporate limits of the city of Arkansas City, providing for related matters, including registration and penalties for violation thereof, thus repealing ordinance number 2023-03-4576.
Second.
Perfect. So this is a roll call vote. Commissioner Spillman,
Yes.
Commissioner Stover,
Yes.
Commissioner Tweedy,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Beeson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, so new business, Environmental Services Department, item number 1 is a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into a contract with FTC Equipment to replace 2 pumps at the Edna Davis Lift Station for an amount not to exceed $13,410, excluding shipping.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Commissioners. Edna Davis, the lift station, the pumps in it have started to deteriorate beyond a point where we took one of the pumps actually and took to a repair shop. They essentially said, you got to buy a new pump. It'd be cheaper. So we're asking to buy 2 new pumps for that lift station, as the other one is going to be deteriorated about the same. You guys have any questions?
Go ahead.
Is there a history on if that pump's been updated since it was placed?
I believe it's been a couple of years. I think it's put in the 90s
Yeah.
as well. So it's done its service, or early 2000s, I believe, actually.
Okay.
So it's definitely done its time.
Is this a budgeted item?
Yes.
And these are the pumps at 8th and just south of
Just
Chestnut.
south of Chestnut.
I'm not, you told us earlier, but I wanted to make sure everybody knew where they were at.
Yep.
Pump house there.
I'll make a motion. We approve a resolution authorizing the City of Arc City to enter into a contract with FTC Equipment to replace 2 pumps at the Edna Davis lift station for an amount not to exceed $13,410, excluding shipping.
Second.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. City manager update.
Okay, Commissioners. We were notified here recently that we were awarded the Safe Streets for All grant. That's a federal grant to work on what it says, safe streets. We were awarded $240,000. We were also awarded a Building Kansas Fund grant for $57,000. That's a state grant program that was put together to give communities in Kansas the matching funds that they need to get these federal funds. And then we also have a $3,000 local match that we'll put in to give us a $300,000 total. We'll analyze traffic patterns and crashes and just the traffic safety in the community. If you recall back when we were doing the master planning for the property the city bought on the north end of town for residential, traffic safety was an issue that people were concerned about. That area will also be analyzed with this grant, so that kind of helped us start that process as well. So that's good news on that. Jennifer has been working hard on the budget book for the 25 budget. She's got that all finalized and put together and is submitted to the Government Finance Officers Association for their review. For a number of years now, she's won awards for the budget presentation that she's put together in the book. So we assume that she'll win again this year, but fingers crossed on that. They were burning up the printer across the hall today, putting together the budget books, and so you guys will have copies of that for your reference throughout the year. And so those are really great books. They have the obviously not only all the budget numbers and budget planning and stuff that went into it, but also our policies and other things like that wrap around how we watch the finances of the city and how we move forward with that. So look forward to that coming soon. I did give you guys an update on the PEC projects that we're working on at the work session, and then the internal projects that Nick tracks. I gave you guys an update on your tables there, so I don't think there's anything really of interest on those right now, but at least you'll kind of know where things are at. On the cyber attack that we experienced at the water treatment plant, that review's been finished up now. There was no personal information compromised in that attack, so none of the citizens' information or none of the employees' information was compromised. So we'll be closing that investigation out and moving forward with finishing up our install of the new servers and the security procedures that'll be upgraded from where they were at before, so we can make it harder for this to happen again. Pretty much you can't say we'll prevent it, but at least we'll make it harder next. So that's behind us. And then I visited with you guys a little bit yesterday, but I just wanted to mention again, we'd like to put together a strategic planning retreat with staff and the commissioners right after the first of the year to discuss priorities and what you'd want to see staff working on and spend our efforts and energies this next year. So we'll get together some dates and put together kind of a program for a retreat that we can kind of get all that worked out and figure out where we want to head next, where we want to spend our energy and efforts this next year. So, and that's all I've got.
Commissioners, do we have anything anyone wants to bring up? Okay, items for discussion, comments from the audience?
Vice Mayor, there are no comments listed.
Okay. Looks like we have 2 executive sessions we'll need to go into then. So I make a motion that we recess into executive session for a period of 10 minutes.
I think that's probably enough to start on that one.
10 minutes to discuss a matter involving a non-elected city employee pursuant to KSA 754319B1, personal matters of non-elected personnel. The open meeting will resume in commission chambers at 6 o'clock.
Just to include the lawyer and city manager.
And we want HR and
Okay.
fire chief.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Tweedy. It's been motioned and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
This conference will now be recorded.
So that issue's not gonna, there's nothing, we're back in open session, but there's nothing that needs to be done on with that. We need to continue with it. Okay. So our next one, everybody gonna have to stand up and walk off again. We got an executive session. I make a motion for an executive session for a period of
I think
5 minutes. Okay, to discuss the prior acquisition of real estate pursuant to KSA 754319B6 for the preliminary discussion of the acquisition of real property. The open meeting will resume in the commission chambers. Actually, we're going to need the commissioners and city attorney and city manager. Thank you. So the open meeting will resume in commission chambers at 6:06.
Second.
Be any action after this?
I would make that 6:07.
Huh?
6:07.
6:07. Okay. Yeah, because it just went to 2.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we're back in open session.
So
I make a
One minute.
Yeah, we have to wait till
Oh.
6:07 on the dot. I apologize.
Yeah.
Can come back early.
Yeah.
4 seconds.
All right,
There we go.
back in open session, and I am making a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, guys.